Hey guys, Vi here with a new video today that's kind of a twist on the breakdown videos that I normally do. So we look at a couple of team fights, break them down, and specifically give you some tips and pointers for team fighting in a particular role. Today we're going to be having a look at the role of a Disruptor. So this is normally the jungler or top laner, and it's basically just their job to keep the enemy carries busy and make sure their damage doesn't get to your carries. In this first game I'm going to be playing Elise. Now Renekton gets caught with the dragon and gets collapsed on by the whole enemy team. Zyra puts her ult down to try and save Renekton, but Vi ends up using her ultimate to secure the kill. You can now see Lissandra coming in the top left and flashing right into Sivir, immediately blowing her up before she can even spell shield anything. At this point Singed and Vi chase after Ashe, and I decide to zone out Lux and Fiddle. Fiddle eats a stun right to the face, and I pick up that kill, and then I turn to Lux. I dodge a binding with my repel, chase her down, and eventually just flash on her face, even though I was probably in range for that Q. So let's just jump back at the start of the fight, because we end up winning this fight even though we're a man down. Now this Zyra ult is really good, not so much because it's on everyone, but because it makes the red team back up. Now at the moment this is a 3v5. You can also see Sivir is coming down from the top of the screen, so this Zyra ult is just buying time for Lissandra and Ashe to get here and make this an even fight. This next part is just after Lissandra has deleted Sivir. Now this was a really good play for a couple of reasons. Sivir was most of the enemy team's damage, but she was also sitting right in the middle of their team, which meant that everyone here took AoE damage from the ult. Now this is really where I have to make the decision as to what my job is in this fight, as I can either defend Ashe or I can zone out their back line. Now I'm bringing out the items here because it's a really important part of weighing up your options as well. Ashe is pretty strong right now and has Infinity Edge and a Last Whisper, which means she's pretty much built for shredding tanks. Not only this, but Singed is pretty weak this game and Vi has built no armor at all. The biggest threat to Ashe this fight is the Fiddle Fear or the Lux damage, so my role is going to be stopping them from getting anywhere near her. I don't need to dive straight into them now where there are 4 enemies nearby, so I'm just going to move into the brush on the side where I'm showing you now, let Vi and Singed pass, and then I'm going to stop the others. Now very quickly, this is just showing you what I meant earlier as I've ducked off to the side. Vi and Singed have gone onto Ashe, and so now is my chance to zone the others out of the fight. Now I do end up killing both of them, but the point I wanted to make with this fight is patience is a virtue when you're a Disruptor. Diving in a full team fight is sometimes the right move, as you'll see in the next clip, but when you can zone the enemies while putting yourself in no danger at all, it's going to be by far the higher percentage play. This second fight is the same theory as the first, but really highlights how you don't have to die while doing a job. So the red team are on Baron right now, but it's only just been started, and the blue team are moving to stop it. Renekton is going to dive straight in for Ahri, and so I'm going to turn and dive straight for Corki. Renekton is now 1v4 and getting repeatedly kicked in the nuts by the entire team. Corki is going to Valkyrie away, and I'm going to use my kick to interrupt the Fiddle ultimate. Renekton then goes down, Gragas tries to disengage with his ultimate, but we end up chasing him down. Ezreal picks up a triple kill. So just firstly then, in general, when you're doing Baron and the enemy team comes to stop you, you need to turn straight away because Baron kind of acts like another enemy champion beating on you from behind. In this case, Renekton has gone straight in, which means that now I have to decide if I'm going to protect my team or zone the enemy carries. Renekton isn't really the threat here though, the threats are going to be the follow-up from Corki, Fiddle and Gragas, so my job as a Disruptor is to make sure their damage doesn't get to my carries. So right now I'm going to queue onto Corki and make him attack me. Now some of you may say it's impossible to predict what the enemy is going to do and call me out for bullshit here, but what Corki should do is as soon as I land on him, he should Valkyrie away. Now this puts the most distance between us and it means he can kite me around and kill me eventually. For me on the other hand though, it means I don't need to ult him away, so I can save it for either Gragas or Fiddle. As it so happens in this fight, Fiddle actually decides to ult right next to me, so I just use my ultimate to stop the cast. Now this is really where I want to highlight the part about not dying while doing a job. Corki is Valkyried away and I kick Fiddle away, which means that they have no chance of getting this fight before Renekton dies. I'm also building full damage this game because Shaco has been trying to split push all game and I've tried to stay with him and keep him at bay, so this means that I'm really easy to kill. So now that Fiddle can't fear anyone and Corki can't damage anyone, I decide to just W out of danger and return to the protection of my team. As soon as Renekton dies, it's going to be a 3v5, and so they're going to have to back out, and really there's just no sense in me dying to them if they've already lost the fight anyway. Now it would have been slightly different if their jungler was alive and someone like Nautilus who is pretty tanky, because then I would have had to stay and probably died to Corki and Gragas. The real problem in a team fight is that if your carries have to attack the tanks but their carries don't, then they'll output a ton more damage, and that's really when you're in real deep poo. So now I'm going to play both of these fights through at full speed, and I just recommend that you watch how I position myself now that you know exactly what I was thinking and what I'm trying to do. If you don't want to watch these, then you can hit the big skip button at the bottom as I have something to say at the end. So thanks for watching this video guys, and the thing I wanted to mention was just I'm thinking about starting to stream. I need to pay quite a bit to upgrade my gear, but if you guys think would be interested and think it'd be worth it, then I'd definitely do it. Just let me know if that'd be cool or not. As always, please do like and subscribe to the video, go like my Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and I'll catch you in my next video.